Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to perform a deeper analysis of the crime scene investigated at Cervi-319.
How did you get them in the tanks?
The hatch on top.
The hatch. How do you access that?
Walk upstairs.
And then what?
Open.
So they were saying like you could barely fit an arm through that. How big is it?
I mean, it's like, you can, because that's how we gauge tanks.
So you think it's about like, just like a pot or a, what's that thing on the ground on the street?
Like a manhole?
Like a manhole cover, like is that big? Okay. Was it hard to get them in there? Did you have to push or anything or?
Okay, so my opinion, without being too graphic, it wouldn't be that quick and easy for them to go through that hatch.
So, tell me again a little about that hatch. We have some guys out there who think that that hatch is just too small. You think it's about what size? Let's compare it to this plate.
That's about, it's twice the size of that.
Twice the size of this plate? Okay. Now, it sounds crass, but did you have to kind of squeeze them in to get them down there?
I mean, wasn't right. I mean,
Okay.
I don't want to like describe it, but I mean,
Yeah. Feet first or head first?
feet.
Okay. And then, were their arms like this, or were their arms like this? Because you're holding your arms? Okay. All right. So, I know we've asked you 1,000 times, and you're probably getting sick of it, but we're very, very concerned about how to get those kids out. You can imagine we can't really cut a hole in that tank because the sparks will blow something.
Yeah.
So, I just want to make very sure that you're 100% sure that they're in there.
Yes.
Okay. One in one, one in the other.
Yes.
Now that doesn't make sense to me. Why would you?
I wasn't making it at this point. I was scared out of my mind. I didn't know what to do.
Okay. So you carried one up, put her in. Did you shut it?
It just flashes.
Okay. Oh, it's just a latch.
Yeah.
And then went back down, got the other one, went up the different tower. Is that how it works?
Same staircase. It's twice the size of that.
Twice the size of this plate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to know why Chris thought that the thief hatch was double in size when we can clearly see, even though this isn't the same one, it's a standard size, that there's no way it was quick and easy to drop them in feet first and leave the scene before coworkers showing up.
They found those children in tanks that were nearly full. And as I have learned from you, the full capacity of these tanks is somewhere between 600 and 700 barrels of oil. That's a lot. So let's just say nearly full is 500, correct?
Yeah, exactly. And, the strange thing to me is openly available, you can find the production rate of that well, and at its best, it was producing about 200 barrels per month. So it leads me to believe that, the oil probably wasn't completely drained out by whoever put the girls in these tanks. They probably shifted the liquids from one tank over to the other one, opened, put it in, and then shifted the liquids back to the other side. That requires quite a bit of technical knowledge, and it does take a certain amount of time.
And let me stop you there.
Okay, so if what the engineer is saying here is it was probably someone who worked in the oil fields who handled the thief hatch and everything that took place there.
Because that was my next question. Obviously, that drill site producing only 200 barrels a month is not going to be able in 4 days, that's the time it took to find the bodies, to fill even one of those tanks up to 600-700 barrels. It would take 3 months to fill them naturally. So just thinking that through, if in fact the opening on the top, and again I'll hold it up, is too small for Chris Watts to, as he apparently according to the police admitted, too small for him to put those children through, he would have had to do it from the bottom, which means the tank would have had to be empty, or he'd have been gushed on by a full tank of oil.
Okay, so I know in the discovery it says that they found hair at the top thief hatch, but I feel what the engineer has to say in this next segment is interesting.
So you're saying that there's a pump that goes between those two tanks, and he could pump
Yes.
one tank empty and put now there's the thief hatch, and I think that's your hand, Wesley, correct? Right next to the thief hatch at the top?
Yeah,
Okay, so we got a
yeah,
relative
that's my hand
size.
to give you scale. Yeah,
And that's at the top.
Yeah,
This is
so
an
they do
example tank that's similar.
yeah, that's part of what kind of bent my brain is, I really don't think you could easily get anything, and it's designed that way for you to not drop anything through that top hatch. They keep it very small, so 8 inches is quite small. That's what made me think you pretty much have to take that bottom manway open, and the standard design, there's 64 bolts, and you got to drain all of the liquids out to really,
We have a picture of that. Put the
let all
picture
the
up of the
fluids out.
bottom manway, because Wesley's also given us an example photo of this tank. Now you can see the relative size of that opening and all those bolts that would have to be opened, unscrewed and screwed back on, and clearly it is at the bottom of the tank. So it's going to have to be that tank's going to have to be literally dry. But Wesley, just in terms of the time, because Chris Watts was seen leaving his house at 5:30 in the morning, and
Another thing in this case that's been very controversial is the idea that Chris had enough time to do everything that he needed to that morning without his co-workers showing up.
he had to have some kind of an alibi to be working by 7:30, 8:30, or 9:30 in the morning. So there were not, and it's 45 minutes to drive there. So he didn't have an inordinate amount of time at this site to dig a shallow grave for his wife and then do all this work at these two oil tanks. How much time does it take to pump the oil between the tanks? It can't be the same as that forensic vacuum.
No, and I think you could probably do that within an hour, more or less, depending on how full the tanks were.
The questionable timeline that morning has just always stuck with me with this case. I even made a post about it back in December in a Facebook group. There's just really no time that he could have, in my opinion, done everything. Okay, this page right here is from the discovery. There's a few things that stand out to me. Mostly the part where it says that there was hair found at the thief hatch on top. I've never seen a picture of this hair, and they said that they took pictures of it. If anyone can find that picture, let me know. Another thing that stuck out was it says that the grave for Shanann was freshly dug. The dirt appeared to be freshly dug. What exactly could that mean? It seems like it could leave room for it maybe to have been dug like a few days prior. A lot of people argue that there wasn't enough time for Chris to do everything himself, but that he could have dug things prior to that day, which is true. I definitely think he could have dug it maybe Saturday night. There is pictures of him wearing socks and flip-flops, which is to me kind of unusual since he was supposed to be on a date with NK that night. They do have boots in his Lexus, which supposedly he took that day. Did he change out of his boots and go into his flip-flops? I don't know. It's just something that's always like stuck out in my head that he was wearing socks with flip-flops walking around the gas station. He does have carpal tunnel, but that doesn't mean that NK couldn't have helped him shovel. It's really hard not to speculate about the series of events that took place that morning. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and subscribe and like if you like the content. And I'll see everyone next time.